today it seemed like it was even up a notch.
Yeah, I thought the way we started the game, we wanted to obviously set a certain tone. I mean, that's how we got to play, with the lineup that we have. We really don't have any other choice than to play that way. If we had two or three other choices, maybe I'd take another one, but that's the only way we can play. And against certain teams, we would be more successful than others. But our goal is to, if we can't, doesn't necessarily mean we're going to force a turnover every time, but if we can make you maybe speed up a little bit, maybe take some time off the shot clock, anything that we can do to, dictate the tempo of the game. And today, I thought that the beginning kind of set the tone for it. That's a big part of our offense. Because it starts when we touch the ball in the defensive end.
Paige looked pretty frustrated at halftime there. What did you say to her in that moment? And what is it about her that she's able to still impact the game like she did, even when her shots aren't falling?
Yeah, I don't know what she shot today. I mean, 5 for 12. Yeah. Yeah. I think the thing about good players is they know how to impact the game when they're not necessarily shooting the ball great or whatever the case may be. So a lot of players, the only way they know how to impact the game is when the ball's going in the basket. And Paige, she knows how to play defense. She knows where to go to get a rebound. So and I don't care how good you are, and I don't care if you're playing basketball, your whole life. There's always something that you can pick up from the game. The end of the half there, I thought we had a really good mismatch. We had a really good matchup for us. She had the ball in the wing, and the big kid was out on the perimeter trying to guard her, and we tried to isolate her out there, and she called for a ball screen so that the guard that was guarding our big guy could then switch on her, so they could have the guard on Paige and the big guy on our big guy. So we kind of helped them get their defense set up. So she's always learning. She's always trying to figure out, what I need to be better at. I knew when she would come out in the second half, she would start, the ball would start dropping for her, and she'd start making plays. But, it doesn't matter how good you are. There's always things that you can do on the basketball court to help impact the game. And there's always something you can learn from the game.
Geno, is there something you're talking to the kids about at halftime? Because again, your third quarter was pretty impressive. 15 for 20 from the field. Again, more energy. The third quarter thing seems like a really good thing for you right now.
I don't know. It varies. Our halftime talks vary. Sometimes they're very short and sweet to the point. Sometimes they're very technical. Sometimes they're more intangible things. I thought that second quarter, that we stopped. We stopped playing basketball. We scored so easily in the first quarter that I think we maybe felt like this is how it's just going to flow, and maybe we reminded every once in a while that, you know, teams come and they come to play us, and nothing's to be taken for granted. And just thought we got better movement on offense in the third quarter. We got better ball movement. We got more transition baskets. So I just thought everything that we did was more intentional, sharper, more focused. The thing we have to worry about too is, how much of this pressure can you really put on for 40 minutes, given what we're dealing with here. So I also can see it too, where there's going to be times when we're just trying to conserve energy sometimes, I think, on the offensive end, because we are spending a lot of it on the defensive end. But I think we've come up with a good way to conserve energy. I think anytime we feel like we need a breather, we just smack somebody or grab them or, punch them, grab their shirt, trip them, anything to get a breather and let them shoot a free throw. We're smarter than I give them credit for sometimes. For KK, it's been just a continuation of her high school career. That's kind of who she was as a high school player. She had a tendency sometimes to just being a little more laid back. But I need her to be disruptive. We need her to be much more, as I said, I think disruptive is the best word. That needs to be a big part of her game, and sometimes that leads to steals, sometimes it doesn't. And today I think was a perfect example of that. Ash, this is all new for her. Ash, not really one of these guys. I think the bench kept reminding me how many steals she had, because I think her career high coming into today, it's like one a month. So trying to make her a little more ball hungry. I asked her today, a lot of times she plays like she's a defensive back in football. How like they're chasing the receiver down and the ball comes right over the defensive back's head and the guy catches it anyway. And you go, must be a reason. They all do it, so it must be a reason. She does that, and she does that a lot. She'll be over here, her guy will be over there, the ball will be all the way over there. The ball's in the air long enough that you could like have a sandwich, and she'll just wait for the ball to come over her head and then turn and sprint at the guy, and the ball would just come right over her head and the guy will catch it. So we did a little drill today where it's like I throw in a frisbee, playground with, your pet or something. I would go here, and I would throw it up in the air, and she would go chase it again, just to get her in the habit of this is what it feels like to steal the ball. So they kept reminding me today, Ash got to steal. All right, I saw it. I didn't realize she had 4 of them though. Now she'll think she's Walt Frazier. Me, you, and Carl, the other ones,
Geno, slightly, it is off topic a bit, but after the game, your seniors, Aaliyah, Paige, Nika, were all signing autographs, pictures, selfies, everything else. And your program's always had the engagement with their fans, going back to Rebecca even before. But what does it say about them in the era of NIL, that they're still willing to do this? And I swear if they weren't pulled out of there, they'd still be out there.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's a strategy not to listen to your post game. I don't know.
Sometimes I think we try to make these kids appear older than they really are, or we try to you know, we try to steal their youth. We try to steal some of their innocence. You know, we have all this talk back and forth about, you know, revenue sharing and, you know, who should get what and how much money the game generates and all that. And I'm all in favor of that. That's all well and good, but you know, at heart though, they're still kids. You know, they're still college kids. They're still not that far removed from being in high school and going to games and trying to get an autograph themselves from somebody. So, yeah, they would stay out there for half an hour, 45 minutes and do it. If you just let them be kids, they would do kid stuff. But, you know, now they're managed and now they're orchestrated and now there has to be a table. And if you want an autograph, I'll sit behind a table. You pay $5 and I'll give you an autograph. And I don't know that, you know, I'm sure there's a time and place for that, but not after a game for kids. I just think that's a reminder to them, you know, there's going to come a time when I'm not going to do this anymore. Might as well enjoy it while you can, you know. The flip side is nobody gives a damn about your autograph. Nobody wants to talk to you. So they're fortunate. They really are, because that doesn't exist in a lot of places. Yeah. Yeah, no.
The kids do it. I hope that these things just don't go on eBay or something.
You don't know that. You just don't know. And I'm sure there is, you know, somebody brings something to you. There's always people waiting for them outside the bus. You know, we're always late getting on the bus, late getting to the airport, whatever, because they want to sign as much as they can. And sometimes we can't let them. And people will do that. They'll have 10 things. You know, sign this. What's your name? Oh, just sign it on it. You know that's where it's going. You know it's where it's going. So you always try to put a name to it, you know. My mom loves you. This is from my mom. Oh, what's your mom's name? Sam. So you write, Dear Samantha, just to piss him off.
Going back to what you just said about Ashlyn, is that kind of the reason you've had her in there with the second unit to end these past two games? She's the only starter that you've had to the last, end the last 3-4 minutes in each game.
I don't know. I mean, I don't have many choices, do I? So somebody's got to be the fifth guy out there, and you know, it just happens to be the one. You know, I also, you know, want to make sure that we don't overestimate how much she can do. You know, and leave her out there too long. You know, if you notice during that one stretch, all her shots were short. You know, so you want to make sure that they all get enough of a breather, and she's one that I tend to leave out there because she's so incredibly well conditioned for a freshman.
What was it like seeing Kylie on the other bench today and having her back in the Big East?
Always one of my favorite, you know, just an incredible human being, you know, just always a light in her eye, always a smile on her face, and was like that as a player, was like that, you know, in high school, and still is like that, and incredibly engaged in our program, and had a tremendous career here and tremendous success here, and she enjoys what she's doing. She really loves it, and I think the future for her, you know, I think she wants a future in this game, and I'm thrilled for her. I really am. She's a great person.
You know, just Nika seems to be in a better place right now. I mean, her first double-double of the season, 13 points, 10 assists, only 2 turnovers. You like where she is right now?
Well, she is in a great place, you know, and as I said earlier, or even yesterday, of anybody that's had to change and adapt their game to today's environment this year, rather opposed to last year, would be Nika. And I think she's done a phenomenal job. It hasn't affected her defense one bit, and she's a much more confident shooter than she has been at any time during her UConn career. And today, she had an opportunity because the game was played pretty fast. And she had an opportunity to do what she loves to do the most, and that's, get the ball to other people and help them score. And I know that's a big part of why we can play the way we play, is because, we've got 3 pretty good ball handlers out there and pretty good passers that know what to do with the ball. And I think she's the perfect example of that.
You had also mentioned wanting to play Ice and Aaliyah together, and you did today for a stretch, and they look pretty good while they're out there together.
They did. They had a lot of opportunities. They didn't take advantage of all of them. But yeah, we have to play that way. I mean, there's going to be all kinds of different combinations out there, because that's what we've got to do. We've got to be ready for no matter what, because you never know, the foul situation, and it's going to be, it's going to be important to us that we can manage regardless of what the combinations look like. But that's one that's going to be used a lot going forward. They can stay out of foul trouble.
Sorry. What are your thoughts on St. John's?
St. John's is St. John's. Joe always, they always have a really good idea of how they want to play. He gets tremendous mileage out of kids that haven't necessarily spent a lot of time in the program. He's able to bring new players in, and they blend in fairly quickly. And he's got a group like that now. They lost a couple of really good players to, graduation, and I would expect that the game is going to be played like a typical Big East game. I wish it was on campus, to be honest with you. I know he does too. It would have been a great environment in there, but yeah, they beat Marquette last week, so they're a very difficult matchup for everybody in our league. They play great defense. They run great stuff on offense. So we're going to have our work cut out for us, I think. Thanks, everybody. Huh? 17.